Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. Thanks again for everybody who was joining the live stream this morning. Really nice talking to you guys. I want to talk about a few things that have developed since we stopped this morning's live stream. Want to talk to you about where the price could be heading, and we're going to take a look at the Cardano price. But before we go dive deep into that, we're having a look at the Bitcoin price, because this could mess everything up, guys. So if we see Bitcoin dropping unexpectedly, we could see the Cardano price being affected negatively as well. So we're just going into it for our chart here on the Bitcoin chart. What I talked to you about, I believe it was this morning, was this bullish pennant, which was forming after the most recent pump of the Bitcoin price. So we saw the post of the flag here, and then this sort of triangle forming, this symmetric triangle. And what happened actually is that we had a candle breaking out here just at the apex. And what we can see here, we might see it better on the hourly chart. What we can see here that basically what happened is that it tried to break up high. So we broke out, yeah, and the 20-day moving average is basically acting as support here. We then actually went below the 20-day moving average, tested the top former resistance level of this triangle, which then became support, bounced off, and we are now again above. We were again the 20-day above the 20-day moving average, trailing along, now touching the 50-day that is coming from below. Hopefully that will act as stronger support, but really we are continuing to move sideways here. What we're having at the moment is something like a, not really a double top, but something that looks like that, because we had these two candles down here. So we have a resistance level here on the 1 hour chart. We successfully bounced off the 20-day moving average, the 50, which acted as support. So that's a good sign. And to be honest, it actually looks like that we are now moving up, continue actually on this path here, which would be a nice and a good sign, and that we can actually extend sort of that triangle if we wanted to. So as I said, these patterns, sometimes they move, they shift. If we break out, sometimes it's not a real breakout, just a continuation, and then we have to adapt these patterns, because what that now means, and you can continue, you can connect these wicks with each other, and down here you have 1, 2, 3 touches. Then we are moving towards another apex where there will be a decision point at some point today, later today UK time, this evening at some point there must be a decision point. And interesting times. I think it looks to me something like a bullish pennant, so a bullish pattern, which could indicate that we can see a breakout to the upside, similar to what we saw this morning with Cardano. And I mean, we are currently at local highs that we haven't had for a while. 49,000 is really good. And for me, if we now can go up actually, then what you normally do, you actually take the length of that triangle. So you basically could take that here, you connect it just roughly, and we add that to the top. Now that could actually take us to the top of this ascending wedge we are working within, and also it takes us exactly to the 52,000, and the 52,000 are actually quite an important level for Bitcoin, because if you just have a look here, and if I make a horizontal line on the 52,000, we can see, if we follow that along, we can see that this acted actually as resistance and support quite a few times. So it was here once more, it was there, not really here, but close enough, there, there, there. If we go further, we'll see further instances here. It was an important support level. And if we follow it along, we can see it was resistance here, it was another resistance here, support here, support here. So this is a really important level, the 52,000 for Bitcoin. In my opinion, might be even more important than the psychological 50K. So that is something we need to follow at the moment. Just looking at the chart pattern, it looks like it might be a positive move here. So we're trading sideways, but we're getting closer towards the apex of that triangle, and then we could break out to the upside, hit the top of that ascending wedge, which actually is a bearish pattern. I know I said that, but it is also the 52,000. So my guess is we'll then break, bounce off that and go to the downside again. But then at least we would be in the top half of this channel here, maybe moving along there. Looking at the 4-hour chart, do we see anything different? I think that's just a confirmation of that. We are still above all the 3 main moving averages, really nice. The RSI is not overbought. I think looking good. Obviously we have the MACD sort of slightly bullish, but still above the 0 line. And on the daily chart, I mean, Bitcoin is looking sort of good, but I'm a bit worried about this ascending wedge here. I'm just worried. It helps us to move higher, but it is essentially a bearish pattern because it indicates that it is losing a little bit of steam, right? Because we still move higher and higher, but it's just the highs don't get higher and higher. The highest get sort of, yeah, it's losing momentum a little bit. And the fact that it's losing momentum, we can see on the RSI here. Yeah. However, what is nice to see also on the RSI actually, what we can see, we can get have something like a triangle forming here now as well. So the lows get less low. Yeah. I mean, higher lows, but lower highs, leading towards something like a decision point here. So we'll see how that goes. Will be interesting. The MACD on the 4-hour chart, on the daily chart here, however, moving into the green, good sign. Bullish crossover here, good sign. So let's all hope for the best. My guess is that we'll move to the upside. If we don't, we might actually drop down to the yellow line here again, and that wouldn't be a big issue. We've done that before, the lower support line, and that's what could happen alternatively. But I think we'd rather go up, which would help the Cardano price as well. With Cardano, found something interesting. So we are sort of still in the level that we were this morning. I'll quickly go to the 1-hour chart. We start there, sort of on the micro scale. Take a look at what's happening. Again, what we can see, another, yeah, pretty much triangle forming. It's more like a descending triangle here, but still we had that pump, now consolidation. So we've got that horizontal level here that we're working on, and hopefully we will at some point see the break to the upside. That would be nice, would be a nice continuation pattern. We've got on the hourly here also the moving averages following across, so we're above the moving averages, and it looks pretty similar to what we had here yesterday, where we also, now we've got that flag pole here pretty much, and this moving pennant, bullish pennant. So what we had yesterday was something like that, again flag pole, and then we had something very similar, and in the end, you know, it played out like we said. This is, again, just want to mention that it's never guaranteed to play out, and then it's at some point we followed that, we traded along, and then we had the breakout to the upside, another, you know, small consolidation here that we had as well, that we predicted as well, a very similar move. Again, we had that flag pole here, and again we had these sort of flag patterns or pennants, out of which we then broke out in a very nice move. We had here a symmetrical triangle, and that is then called a bullish pennant if the move before was a bullish one. So we had that here, very similar move here. We're actually moving to the downside at the moment as I do this video, which takes me to the next point, which is the support level that we need to look at, which is this point here, the 255, I think. And because why the 255? Well, the 255 is an important one because this is the previous all-time high that we tested here, tested here, tested here. So 4 times now that acted as support level, and it's a big one. So as long as we stay above that, I think everything looking bullish. Should we go below that? I think for me the next levels are of course these moving averages here, but I'd rather not look at the hourly one. I'd rather look at the more significant daily, or at least the 4-hour ones. Let's do the 4-hour ones. So the good thing is the 4-hour one is just coming up. So however, still it's not where we need it, above the 255, but chances are if we should really break down below this 255, then we will have this 20-day moving average there to support, and that might happen. I mean, that would nothing, this is nothing to worry about. We are in an upward trend, and we can see that if we look at that. And I have not drawn that in before this channel here. This is an ascending channel. We are currently trading. Looks like this could become a channel, right? So we are currently moving within these 2 parallel lines, which also explains why we are currently seeing this resistance here. So we've got this lower line here where we touched it here actually a few times, 1, 2, not really here, but again here 3 times. So 3 times fair enough. If it's touching 3 times, we can start to draw a line. For me, that is a support line. And also on the top here, we have it touching here, and we had it here, and we've got it touching now again. So yeah, we've got this ascending channel here, which basically means it could be that we continue to trade within this channel. And this helps us to move the price up, certainly, but it also means that we could actually see us dropping to levels of 220, 225 again, right? So that would be nothing to worry about, guys. Just want to tell you that if we see us dropping to 225, for whatever reason, maybe Bitcoin makes an odd move, something which is not predictable, then 225, or at least if we follow this line here, because this support level will then move up and up and up. So this is nothing to worry about, but hopefully the first line of support is this 255 level. So we just need to observe that, see what's going to happen going forward. And because we can't, we've got pretty big resistance level here now. I'm not sure if we get through that today. It would be nice, but because we've got this support, this resistance level forming here now, there is a bit of work required to get through that. And this is exactly where, it's probably better to see on the hourly one, this is exactly where we tested it. Just need to delete that flag post. But yeah, we tested that now like 1-2 times maybe. And now we seem to break below this triangle that I've actually just shown you. So, nothing to worry about. And let's be very positive that we have made new all-time highs today. And even though these are bullish pennants, bullish patterns, it doesn't always mean that they need to go up. But for me, crucial line of support is the 255. I hope that came across. That was the previous all-time high. If we go below that, it's slightly bearish. But we are in an uptrend, guys. But even if it, as I said, if it goes below that, which I don't hope it will, but if it does, then we have a lot of lines of support up here. And I think where it would get slightly worrying, that would be if we dropped all the way down here. Let me just go to the daily one, because here we have the main moving averages as well. For me, it would be really worrying if we dropped below the lower support line of this channel now. We then still have 3 moving averages following us and acting as support on the daily chart. But that would be quite a drop, and I think that has now formed quite a good resistance support level. So yeah, I wouldn't want us to break that uptrend. That for me would indicate probably we're still in an uptrend then, but it would be quite a significant bearish move. So yeah, hopefully you liked that update. Hope you appreciated it. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to subscribe, please do so. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next video. Bye.